All right, y'all, I got some things to tell you guys. I need to tell you my thoughts, and then I also have to tell you something that's been alleged. I don't know if you guys remember the video that I did a couple of days ago stating that Fancy and Gypsy and Bree and Ken, something weird seems like it's going on, right? I don't know if you guys remember when Ken was on that live the other day, and it seemed as though he was kind of throwing some shade at her, but a lot less than what he normally does. It seemed like I was more so the target, right? Now, the word on the bayou is Christy Blanchard has been defending April Johns. Okay? Fancy Marcelli, April Johns, whatever you want to call her. Now, I did start thinking that Fancy and the Blanchards might have had some sort of discussion. The reason why I think that is the fact that Fancy was on Bree's Live. I just think that's very bizarre, especially considering what we have seen from all of them, right? Doesn't that seem like odd? Why would that be happening, right? Now, I do know a lot of people on social media, YouTube, whatever, they're kind of like two-faced. They go back and forth. But it's just odd that Fancy starts like smack talking people, and then all of a sudden, like, her and Bree are really cool, and then Christy starts defending her to people in the bayou. And I've seen proof, y'all, of Christy defending somebody. Defending her. I just think that's odd. I actually think that right now they all could possibly be in cahoots. Man, ain't nothing like people that are all using each other. They just had this lady, didn't they just try to take her to court? You see why I'm real funny about these people on these TikTok streets and these YouTube streets. Some of these people are shadier than y'all realize. It's like you're playing a Game of Thrones. Now, I also think what's really, really weird is the way things have happened as far as Fancy and even like Morbid, like how she started kind of like turning, and then, she was all about the Petries, and then now she's like talking about them poorly. It's like she like hops and she tries to leech onto something. If it doesn't work, she kind of like moves on, and then she'll talk about that thing too and that person. And, she always says that I'm a plant, but really low key, I'm starting to think she might be the plant. I mean, doesn't it make sense? Things have been really weird. Fancy's always been odd, right? And I think one of the reasons why Fancy and Gypsy really are at odds a lot is because they're very similar. I know some people might not want to hear this, but I think they're very similar. When I look at patterns of behavior, like they mimic each other to an extent. Yeah, if, Fancy's mom is alive, or if she's not, it's not that she unalived her, right? But I just think when you look at the whole patterns of the both of them, it's very similar, right? And it's my understanding that Gypsy was the one who got hip to Fancy being full of SHIT and not Christy. Christy didn't realize it. Gypsy knew something was wrong, and Gypsy was like, I don't want no parts of this. And then Christy kind of like went in the same direction. So really, I think Christy might be trying to keep Fancy in her back pocket. Because I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I promise when Gypsy gets off parole, she's gonna turn on Christy quicker than the stock turns on somebody when a brand does something messed up, okay? Gypsy gonna turn on Christy, and I think Gypsy gonna turn on quite a few people. And when that comes out, she needs somebody to ride for her. Something's going on with them. I wouldn't be surprised if you see her on Lifetime, child. Now, like I said, now it's been alleged that Christy is defending her. I saw some receipts from somebody. Another person told me the same thing. And I thought it was interesting because it just makes sense. It does. It very much does make sense. Now, allegedly, the picture that was sent to Morbid is not a picture of the baby. I heard that the baby actually has a pretty voluptuous nose. The baby allegedly looks exactly like Dee Dee. When I tell you that man upstairs, God is a funny man. Okay, the baby looks like Dee Dee allegedly. The baby has dark hair. And I also heard that Gypsy was really upset leaving court because they still have to take a paternity test and it hasn't been taken yet. And Christy says allegedly, they know it's not his, he knows it's not his baby. So the paternity test was not done as far as the courts yet. Now, this is alleged. I haven't seen like 100% confirmation, so I'm just telling y'all this is alleged. Ciao. I know they said that this was taken in a facility, but somebody that saw the baby said that they think it's a possibility it's not cancer. Now, I also know someone that told me that the baby does definitely look older than the date that they said the baby was born. They told me they feel like the baby was born in either October or November. I don't know if this is true. We are all going to find this out sooner or later, I'm sure. But I thought that that was very interesting, and I thought that y'all might actually be interested to hear that part, because I actually thought that that part was kind of not a shocker, because I feel like it's obvious that the baby was born before that. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Again, we know that these people are super shady. And when Raina said the baby was alert with the Christmas lights, that's when I was like, somebody lying. So I actually really do think that there's a lot going on that we're not privy to, and there's definitely lies going on. Again, we're talking about Christy and Gypsy and these people. We all know they're liars, right? Like, they've never been honest people, so I don't think that that's far-fetched. It'll be very interesting to see what's happening or what's going to happen or whatever. Yeah, now I heard like the Bayou really don't like any of them. I also heard the judge can't stand Gypsy that was dealing with the divorce, and he allegedly was very mean. And she complained about how mean he was. And Christy also complained about how mean the judge was. I heard it's an old school judge, child. And I heard that judge don't play no games. And the judge was just like, Miss Williams, first of all, you cheat on your husband while you on parole. Yeah, I don't like you. If I'm a judge, I'm not going to like you either, Bookie. But that's the word on the street right now. So If you want to know some tea, this the tea right here. I know it was short but sweet. Bye, y'all.